We'll be working with a bolster for practice. If you don't have a bolster, you're welcome to modify with 2 blocks or a thick blanket rolled into a cylinder. We'll start on our backs in supported Supta Baddha Konasana. So drawing the bolster in pretty close. You want to keep it so that your knees or your ankles can be supported. Just having some gentle lift, bringing some more blood flow in through the liver pathway. And just start by taking a couple deeper breaths. Relaxing your face, you're welcome to close your eyes. Begin deepening your breath now with an awareness of your diaphragm. So our diaphragm attaches to our liver. The liver is the largest organ on the right side, dealing with themes of renewal and this lightness that starts to pervade the body in the spring. Lighter foods, longer days, just leaning into this wisdom. Each breath nurturing the body. And then drawing your awareness to your facial muscles, trying to release any tension that appears between the eyebrows. Maybe just pinching in there between the eyebrows so you know what to soften. And imagine that spreading all the way up to your hairline and then even around the sides of your face now. And you can massage near your hairline. This is the gallbladder pathway that wraps around the sides of our head and it travels down the back of our neck, just slightly wider than bladder 10. It's in between the sternocleidomastoid, which is this thick, ropey front body muscle. It's the stomach meridian. And the trapezius, which is pretty thick, travels up from the upper back to the base of the neck. So if you were to dig your fingers in between there, the splenius is nestled in there deeper, and that's where gallbladder 20 is situated. A good place to draw circles. Bring this idea of sending the energy down, releasing this chi that can rise and create disturbances in the mind and tension in the jaw and the upper shoulders. From here, the pathway travels down to the tops of the trapezius. So on each side, all the meridians are symmetrical. Right in the center of the trapezius is gallbladder 21, shoulder well. A good spot to massage, pinch, again, draw circles. If you want to energetically support this with a little pedestal rest, you can bring the outer edges of your wrists to the base of your skull at gallbladder 20. And just imagine every exhale releasing some tension from your expression, from your face. You can bring your eyes to rest on awareness inside. The third eye, what is within? The deepest breaths now. We'll also work on emphasizing our exhale. Five more breaths here. Feel the belly rise and the belly fall. Soft brow, really heavy eyes. Last 2 deep, deep breaths. And release. You can close your knees up and make your way up into a seat. So maybe rolling over onto one side, maybe taking a little stretch out. And then when you lift yourself up here, you can just roll your bolster off to the front top of your mat. And we'll set up for Gomukhasana. Just the legs here. So we'll start with our right knee over top of our left. Try to stack the knees as best as you can. Walk the ankles up as best as you can. Resituate yourself so you're level on your pelvic bowl, and then grow your spine up. A couple deep breaths in here, lifting the sternum. And then exhale. Imagine the side body getting heavier. Releasing. And we'll reach our right arm up and bring our left arm to the floor. Just walk it out as far as you can, taking a big, deep breath as you reach the right fingertips up and over to the left. We'll do 5 breaths here. Working into the side body. Bridging that connection from the hips and the IT band through the side ribs and even the neck and the jaw. From the outer edges of the eyes to the 4th toe. That's the gallbladder pathway. It wraps around the side of the head, wraps around down the ribs, deep in the waist. See if you can take a breath in there, making some space. 2 more. Keep reaching your arm. And release. Coming up, take a moment, recenter yourself here. And then fold forward over your legs, just to your degree of intensity. You can reach for your bolster. You can bring your arms up, resting your forehead. You could even bring your thumbs back into your 3rd eye or underneath the eyebrow and the ocular ridge there, connecting with the gallbladder. And then this breath that we massage in through the right side, we could imagine the liver, this vital organ, storing our blood, ruling over all of our fascia, all of the sinews. So liver can be stagnated through heaviness in the diet. It can also encounter issues through repressing our emotions. So the emotion associated with the liver is anger. But we could also define that as frustration or feeling pent up or stuck. So the energy of the spring is allowing the uninterrupted flow of chi, everything just like a river rushing, moving. Maybe go a little deeper here. Bringing awareness into your mouth now. Soften your tongue just behind your upper teeth. 2 more of your best breaths. And release. You can again set the bolster forward. We'll unwind the legs here, just crossing at the ankles, stepping up into our downward dog just to reset. A couple breaths there. Notice the difference between the sides of our body. We could pedal the legs here, harmonizing the back body pathway, those winter meridians, kidney and bladder. Just spreading the toes and imagine letting our breath just open us up here. And then just relax the back of the head so you have a nice long spine. 3 more deep breaths. Always closing the eyes is a gift for the liver as well. Bringing that awareness back within. Softening the brow, the inner corners of the eyes. And then coming down to all fours, we'll cross our right knee over the back of our left leg now, coming into Gomukhasana on the other side. So again, stacking the knees as best as you can, walking the ankles up to your degree, level seat. And then just think about lifting from the sternum, letting the shoulders soften down the back. Inhale the left arm up, gaze up, and then guiding a strong and reaching left arm over to the right. Breathing into the entire side body. Every inhale is making a little more space. Every exhale we can deepen, we can strengthen. Soft mouth. 3 more deepest breaths. And release, coming up. And exhale to fold. Long spine, bring some support close by. Thinking about all of these postures as becoming deeper over time and through breath. So it's always the most gentle exploration initially. And then we can decide what to change, to explore going deeper. If you notice tension appearing, a lot of tension maybe, deepen your breath and begin to relax the face first, the jaw, the tongue. See if that helps. And bring your awareness to something that could soften. deepest breath. Exhale. And again, release. Bring the bolster up. Bringing your balance into your hands. Lengthening the legs back, downward dog. Now we'll come into a half crocodile, more like a half frog pose though, really. So you can drop your right knee down and you can bring your left knee out to the side of your mat as you lengthen your right leg back. So setting up crocodile with a bent left leg. This is a good place to start, just keeping your arms in sphinx. We're working back into the liver, the internal leg pathway. If you want to go deeper, lengthen the left leg out. And then start to melt your chest down closer to the floor. And you can imagine the liver pathway runs from the big toe in between the first and second toes, that's liver 3, and then it travels up the entire inside of each of our legs. So working with this left leg first, we're allowing the left inner thigh, even the left side body, liver 14 there in between the ribs, all of that space to open up. So really important to keep breathing with the diaphragm. And even if you're keeping your leg bent, you can explore the sensations. What do you notice in the inner groin? And really try to imagine the power we have to let this resistance, this hesitation, this like pent-up energy to flow. Keeping that sacred rhythm, try not to resist, but rather explore any tension that might arise here. And the spirit of the liver is our creative force, our desire to grow and become and change and manifest. It's everything that's happening in nature right now, all of this growth and transformation. So emotionally, we allow ourselves to be revitalized. Maybe looking at life from a new perspective. Going in just a little deeper now, any small, it could be really just the most subtle shift to go in a little deeper here for 5 more breaths. And release. You can press yourself back. Just walking the left foot in like lizard, and then press yourself up into your down dog. You could walk your hands back. You bend into both of your knees. Just observe, lift the heels maybe. Pedal the legs, anything you need here. And we'll drop it back down to all fours for a moment, sitting on the toes, broken toe pose. If this is too intense, we're just going to do a couple breaths, but if this is too intense, come to all fours and just imagine sending your pelvis back toward your heels to stretch all of the toes out. It's bringing a little more connection in through liver 3, in between the first and second toes. And also bring your awareness to your pelvic bowl. Try to nestle it right underneath your ribs and your shoulders. Lifting the sternum. Deepest breath. And setting up for our crocodile or half frog on the other side. You can even do a couple cat-cows here, anything you need to move some of that energy. And then sending your right knee up and out to the side. Coming onto your bolster. Starting with the knee bent to begin with, and then from there deciding if you want to lengthen it out. And if you do lengthen it out, maybe you can come onto the bottom of the foot there and just feel that pull through the groin, especially that innermost yin, the inner legs where the kidney, the liver, and the spleen all traverse there through the inner leg. So the liver and gallbladder represents the third chakra, Manipura. So again, that sense of becoming who we are, our ego, like good ego, sense of being as we are in the world, our true self, and all of our creative innate talents, sharing that out. And then the second chakra, which is stomach and spleen, a sense of nourishment, giving ourselves what we need, and also our intellect, so what we're interacting with through life that kind of provides that sense of self. So everything's connected, and the winter meridians, the root chakra, we're coming out of this place of introspection and dealing with nurturing the kidneys through diet, building our blood. So the winter emerging now into spring, we take that blood and it's all through the body now. We're starting to become more active and taking all of that into consideration, sometimes to balance our overactive yang drive. This is where a yin practice can be really beneficial in just slowing down and making this gradual transition into spring. Maybe go a little deeper. Can either bring the right leg higher or just deepening your breath. What do you notice here? What comes up for you here? How can you stay and soften? Starting with the jaw. And just 5 more breaths, smooth, steady breaths in and out. And try not to rush these breaths, but make them even deeper, even more intentional. And closing the eyes is a way to nurture the liver. When you're ready, pressing yourself back. Downward facing dog. And pulling the belly in, emphasizing the exhale. And look to the hands. You can drop the knees down. One more time, we'll come onto our heels, so either broken toe pose, or you can sit between your feet for a moment here, just finding a Virasana. And we'll find liver 14 acupressure here. So in between these last two floating ribs, and then just above that is an indentation in between the second and third, if you're counting backwards. And if you send your breath there into your fingers, you might notice some sensation there. It's a way to reconnect with our diaphragm, calming our breath. It's really powerful to think about how the nervous system creates space in the body, how just through breath alone we're allowing the myofascial pathways to soften, and then the muscles can relax. So as we come into this next pose, our pigeon, it will be really important to keep our breath as smooth as possible to really allow some things to release and open through the gallbladder pathway. So we'll start again on the left side, and first we'll explore coming into our lizard. So we'll bring our left foot up to the top corner of our mat, and we can bring our bolster in for support if we'd like to cushion our wrists or anything like that. And we can think about this lizard as just allowing ourselves to soften into, once again, that liver pathway that we just opened in our half frog or our crocodile pose. So even just finding some gentle back and forth motions through the hips to think about warming up. And then when we pass our left leg over, we can actually sit on this bolster as a little bit of lift for the left leg. So walk your left foot over. So move the bolster back so it's behind your heel. Walk your left foot over until your left heel is in front of your right shoulder, and then drop your leg down onto the bolster. And you can adjust this as necessary so you feel like you're really supported. Checking on the back leg, make sure that you've walked it straight back out behind you. And then as you're ready, think about softening once more the gallbladder pathway, so the IT band and everything else that's in there. And you can deepen this by curling the right toes under, pulling that right leg back. So you level the hips off a little bit more. And again, we're just starting with the most gentle and gradual exploration into pigeon. So we could stay upright for a couple breaths, allow gravity to, kind of soften in, making our nervous system aware that it's okay to go deeper, and then we can start to fold forward and intensify this posture. Coming on to your forearms. If this is too intense, come off of the bolster and bring a block or something underneath your hip, and then you could bring your arms down to the bolster instead. But sometimes this feels really good to work on the angle of the front leg in a really safe way. And then eventually just rounding the chin into the chest. And we'll be here for a while, so don't feel rushed. Just really imagine the power behind releasing this entire pathway and bringing some more lightness into our way of being. Allowing our body to follow the natural course of the seasons. If you do notice a lot of sensation happening, remember to breathe. Bring your focus back. Soften your tongue, your neck, your jaw, and then see if you can stay. And keep your eyes closed. Imagine all of these energies following your breath. This conscious breathing is what keeps the energy moving and flowing through the body. As you go even deeper, you may become aware of sensations such as tingling or interactions with nerves, which is completely normal. The nerves travel through the fascia. You just want to become aware of any sharp pains, anything that feels like you should come out or back off a little. Listen to that, but the normal discomfort, like the range of discomfort that we're traveling with through our breath, is in order to transcend the tightness that exists here, to move through the blockages. So don't be afraid if you've felt something new or uncharted in this deep hold in Pigeon. It's totally safe. We're going to be here for a little bit more time just to really synthesize everything. So find your deepest expression, whatever that is for you today. And our 5 deepest, longest breaths in and out. release, you can press yourself up. You bring your left foot back over for lizard and just draw some circles in through your hip. You can just articulate it like you're preparing for splits or something like that. Just roll through all of those strips of fascia, and then pressing yourself up and back, downward dog. And if you want to go a little deeper, you can bring your right hand center, just dropping over to a flip dog, or even just a variation here, reaching some energy up through this hip, the side body, engaging the back body, releasing the front body. And then change, making your way back down onto your knees. And again, if you need anything else, any cat-cows, or even just shaking the tail, making some space back through the sacrum, we'll come into the other side. Right foot forward, lizard, starting here. Again, thinking about just the sink down through the inner leg, the yin pathway, bringing the blood and the nutrients in there, harmonizing our focus. And then we can bring the bolster. Again, make sure that you bring it close enough to your body that you can walk your right foot over and sit on this bolster. And you can decide if your foot stays on top, you can work a larger angle with the right leg, but you're always welcome to bring this bolster closer into the leg so your ankle can be smaller. It's totally up to you. Just taking a look back, grounding down through the top of your left foot. Liver 3. Take a couple breaths just upright. And then as we deepen here, just walking forward, it can be a really gradual exploration, just coming onto the hands and the wrists first. And usually with our pigeon, we have one side of the body that's a little more tight, or one side that feels a little more open, so just respecting that, honoring that. Really the progress to be made with these postures like pigeon, it comes more in waves of release. Rather than trying to force the body into a certain position, it's more about understanding the way fascia works, the way it behaves in relationship with our nervous system. So our breath, through the state of calm and present awareness, dictates the flow of chi, the movement of energy from our breathing, prana. And then from there, the body responds. We cultivate our awareness in the posture, and then we can go deeper. And we hold the postures for time to allow the nervous system to communicate within the myofascial network. So if we move too fast, we almost work against the body because the muscles will tighten. So we're not actually lengthening muscles, we're relaxing muscles in the context of the fascial bag or the containment of all muscle groups. That's what we're smoothing, which allows the muscles to relax. Sometimes muscles are held and clenched and tight. We can especially become aware of the ones in our face and our jaw. So always trying to relax what we can. And then the posture will deepen. And really coming to enjoy the moments of discomfort as the bridge to a lightness of being, or opening space. And the more often we approach practice with that narrative, the more all of life becomes a little lighter and easier. This is what the yogis would call sukha sthira, the balance between focus and letting go in a posture. So maybe go a little deeper, honing awareness, staying focused, but then allowing some surrender. As you're ready, once more pressing yourself up, you can sweep the right foot back and over, bring the bolster up, three-legged dog, drawing circles or dropping back, flipping your dog. And we'll meet back up, bringing our knees down and together, dropping our tailbone back toward our heels for an embryo pose. Now just nurturing everything through the pelvis and dropping onto the hairline. You can wrap your hands back, cupping your heels. Just allow your shoulders to round. And gently lifting up. Back to all fours. We'll thread the needle here, bringing our right hand center as we sweep our left arm up, sending our tailbone back. Again, inhale here. And then exhale, come to land on the left side of your face, working more of that gallbladder fascia up through the shoulder, the neck, and the jaw. You could half bind your right arm here, just off to the side of your body. Or if you want more, you can reach your right arm straight above you, maybe even reaching your right leg up for a broken table. And then you might explore reaching back for your right foot, just putting a little more emphasis on the left shoulder and your crown and your temple. So from wherever you are, just really enjoy that connection there. Broken tables, coming back down. And then we'll just bring our tailbone again back to the heels, kind of peeling this left arm out. And then setting it down off to the side here, going into the inner left arm now. So bring it about the height of your shoulder and then roll over onto your left side. And then again, you can find acupressure for the side body or the liver. You could reach for your right knee here, connecting some stomach and spleen energy. If your right arm can fall behind your back, you can explore ever so gently rolling over onto the outer edge of your right foot. And then any adjustments you need to make through your face, your neck, and your jaw, so you really feel this energy spreading through the back of your arm and your upper trap. Breathing into your shoulder 3 times. And release, coming back, pressing up to all fours, bring the knees wide, just send your tailbone back, coming into a child's pose. Bandhasana. And just reconnecting with your deepest breath here. Lengthening the exhale. And lifting up. Left palm centers. Reach the right arm up and back. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle coming onto the right side of your face. If you want to practice more broken table, like if you find that curious at all, just make sure that your knees stack right underneath your pelvis so you have a really nice support. You can just start even bringing your left fingers down to the floor to help guide your left leg long. And it's okay if you fall back. Just come right back into the pose. Finding your point of balance. And also for the shoulder and the side of the head too. Like notice where you're placing your energy. Where do you need it more? Finding that connection. Deep breath. And release. Right arm comes out to the side, just about shoulder height, maybe a little higher. And then once again, just come over onto the right side of your face. Bring your left foot behind your body, maybe your left arm behind your back. Always come back to what can you soften, what can you let go of or unclench in the mouth. All of these ways to discover some serenity. And release, coming onto your front body. Pressing yourself back one more time, downward facing dog. And drop the knees. This time we'll come onto our backs, so we'll set up for a supported bridge pose and then a supine twist. And from this bridge pose, we're going to find a different variation here. So, bridge pose, supported. So it'll be the first option is to bring your hands into your lower back, the base of your spine, catching your sacrum. And then set up a nice press of your chest up in toward your chin. You can watch your breath. The diaphragm rising and falling. Do 5 breaths. Now come down. Bring your feet wide, your knees fall in towards center. And bring the backs of your wrists again up into gallbladder 20. Just cradle your head. You can make any adjustments you need through your spine so you feel level. Now this next set, we'll interlace our fingers together, left thumb on top. So walk your shoulders even closer together, left thumb on top, palms touching, arms squeezing, pressing into the shoulders, squeezing the backs of the legs, pressing into the feet. Deepest breath. And release. This time, feet together, knees out to the side. Just massage the inner legs. You can massage the front body or the side ribs. And one more set of bridge, this time with our right thumb on top. So we lift up. Try to keep the palms touching. Go as high as you can, really activate. Deepest breath. And hug the knees into your chest. You can just massage the back. Maybe massage the back of the head. And we'll find our Garudasana legs for spinal twist. So left knee on top, we wrap the legs around, we lift the pelvis up, set it down closer to the left side of our mat, and then we can reach our right arm over our side body, feeling our breath, just looking out over the left arm, maybe closing the eyes again, synthesizing this practice. Everything starting with our breath. We'll finish with that same awareness. Deepen it. Soften it. And coming through center, wrap the legs the other way. You can center your spine again, wrap the right leg over. Knees fall left, hips a little more to the right, and then look out over your right arm. And one final check on the tongue, the face, the jaw. Do a little inventory before Shavasana, and then as you're ready, if you'd like to bring more of a focus through the liver and the diaphragm, you can keep your hands resting on top of your navel. Otherwise, any shape of your arms that you'd like, maybe overhead or like wings. And we'll just Shavasana here. And so the meridian circuit is continuous. If you picture in your mind's eye the face of a clock, and at 12 noon is the time of the heart, and in the middle of the night, it's the gallbladder and the liver. These are energies that are very dependent on our sleep cycles and how we caretake ourselves. So the liver does best with just enough, not too much, just enough, the right foods in the right amount, good sleep in the right amount, movement, everything in harmonious balance. And this practice is a way to understand the yin and the yang, these forces of nature that complement one another and pervade over all things, living and also just in existence, the day, the seasons of the year, everything in rhythm, in concert. You're welcome to stay. If you would like to enjoy a longer Shavasana or work on more acupressure points or anything here, you're welcome to pause this video and carry on. Otherwise, to return, engaging everything in a nice full body stretch, just lengthening everything out, rolling over onto your left side. You can cradle your head and your upper arm there for a moment. Maybe keeping the eyes closed, just continuing to observe. And then as you're ready, guiding yourself up to An easy seat, again, just keeping the eyes closed or just a soft gaze down at the floor. And if you'd like to join me in dedicating this practice, inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be at peace and free.